Hi, it's me, Kel, Fueled by Fat. I am doing a little meal prep today for Sunday meal prep, and I thought I would share with you one of the fun things that I like to make, the really yummy things that I like to make for my meal prep for the week. You know, if you fail to prepare, you prepare to fail. So let's get cooking. I'm making meatballs today, and I use an 80-20 ground beef and 2 pounds of ground beef and 1 pound of ground pork, and I mix it together with a little salt, pepper, and onion powder and garlic powder, and roll it into little balls, and then I cook it in the oven. I also cook a pound of bacon before, and I cook the meatballs in that bacon grease. So I will get started on this, and I'll share as I go. Okay, so here I have some ground beef and ground pork, and I put the seasoning in the middle there, and then I'm gonna put on the rest of my ground beef. I like to break it apart because you don't want to mix or work your meat too much or it gets tough. So I do this way, and then after I get this stuff all broken up, I will mix it all together. So there's the rest of my 2 pounds of 80-20 ground beef, and here's the rest of my ground pork. And then I will mix that all together and come back and show you how I make it into meatballs. There is my pound of bacon and my pan that I'm going to put the meatballs in. Okay, I have that all mixed together, and I have my little trusty little ice cream scoop here that makes the perfect size small little meatballs that I like. So what I do is I just scoop a good, fill it up, and roll it a little bit, and stick it in my pan, just like that. And this usually makes, this 3 pounds of meat usually makes 1 pan of meatballs. And with my other stuff that I food prep, meal prep, I get these, these usually last me a couple weeks. So I'll get these all rolled out and put on the pan, and then I'll show you the final product before I put them in the oven. Okay, here they are, ready to go in the oven. I put them in the oven at 350 for 10 minutes, and then I'll turn them over and cook them for another 5 to 10 minutes until they're the brownness that I want them to be. I pat them down a little bit so they're a little bit flat on each side, and that way when I flip them, they aren't rolling all over the pan, and I get a more even bake. So I'll let you know, I'll show you what they look like when they come out of the oven. Okay, those cooked for about 15 minutes, and they look great, and they smell amazing. Now I'm gonna show you how I package them up for meal prep. Okay, I have these little 1 pound loaf tins that I put all my meal prep in, and I'll just put a few of these meatballs in here. Usually about 4 or 5, like that. And then I will, when I'm all done with that, I'll take all this juice and pour it over the top of all the meatballs. And then once they cool, I'll cover them up, and I'll show you how I do that in just a second. There we are, all put in the tins, and it ended up to be 5 meatballs per tin perfectly. When they cool, I'll show you how I cover them up and label them and put them in my freezer. Okay, here they are, all packaged up and ready to go in the freezer. Now you're probably wondering why I put them in these little tins and freeze them. I am a mobile dog groomer, and I have a little tiny oven in my truck that is like what the truck drivers used to use on the road. And I just plug it into a 12-volt plug and it cooks my meals for me. And they have to be in these tins in order to put them in my oven. So this is how I package them up. And then I'll show you how my freezer looks when I'm all stocked up with meal prep. Okay, here is my freezer. And you'll see I have the meatballs. And then I have little bits of steak that I did last weekend. And I have some taco meat. We had tacos in the middle of the week, and I packaged up the leftovers of that. Then I have some roast beef and some pork belly bites, which I love pork belly bites. I should have made some more of those this week. Maybe I'll make some later today. And this is what I do. Every week I try and make a new item to put in the freezer so that I have a variety of things to choose from. See, I have some bacon wrapped chicken here. And anyway, that's my freezer all ready to go. I'm prepped for the week.